Welcome, everyone. This is the Goldmiind call for RX on the 16th of August in China, where it's the 15th of August in the United States. And it's 7 a.m. here in the morning for most of you in the United States in the afternoon or evening. Welcome, everyone. This is the only call we're going to do for this month because I'm doing an extensive series of meetings all over China and Taiwan and Japan. I'm going to be gone for a month, frankly. First time in my life I've ever been gone from home this long. I've got a series of meetings that I'm doing, and I'm here coincidentally. I didn't know, but I had scheduled a series of meetings around China, and then I found out after I got here that Fred is just coincidentally, in some of the cities that I'm in, without scheduling anything with RX. Hold on a second. Rob, and somebody else has joined with us. Hello, welcome. Good morning, or good evening. I'm going to mute out the sound there too. A little bit noisy. So anyway, coincidentally, got a chance to go to Fred's first speech that he gave here in China with regards to, well, I'll let you know here in just a minute. So anyway, welcome to our call, everybody. Starting in the fall, after we finish this summer, I'll be starting another series of probably going to audio only. So that I'll be able to reach people all around the world on RX, so that many people who call in, they call in on video, and that works nicely. But I think I'm going to be going to audio only because when I'm here in China, my internet signal is really weak, and so it's not ideal. Let's put it that way. And I think if I use an audio signal, even if I call in directly using my cell phone, I think I'll get a better signal. And since I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling over this fall and next spring, that's where we're going to go. We'll do it on a weekly basis, but it'll be audio. Let me just show you a little bit of what's been going on here in China. And so let me put up sharing my screen. And here we go. And hi, there's Will there. Okay, we've got someone else who's joined with us. Good morning. I'm going to be putting you on, muting everybody's video out. You should be able to see that. This is a couple of audiences. I've been speaking to many different audiences all over Taiwan and Japan. This is a group that I taught on multiple streams of income. Obviously, one of my books that I'm most famous for. And this is a group that I was speaking to in where the heck was this? Zhengzhou, China. And this, let's see, they're just wildly excited about multiple streams of income, how to become an entrepreneur. The very fun group of people. And here I'm speaking at an audience in Xi'an, China. And they've got a picture of me sitting on the front row just before I'm ready to go up to talk to the group. And once again, China is a country that's filled with, lots of entrepreneurs. It's a lot less underdeveloped than most of us think. There are 100 cities all around China that have, 5 million or more. It's just huge. It's just, staggering. And hi there, there's Tom. How you doing, Tom? I am, Tom, if you would, it's because my signal is really weak here. Why don't you turn your video off? Can you turn it off? There you go, thank you. So here is Fred Cooper at a meeting in Xi'an, China. Fred spoke on the day before yesterday, and I spoke the day after he was there. And so we had a group of people who were, a team that I brought with me to this meeting. And we have a very large group of people at the meeting in Xi'an, China. Fred, this was his very first speech. And he's going all over Asia. He's got like 10 different cities he's going to. And he's making an announcement. He's making the announcement that they've made the formal application for the China license, which is a big, big deal. We've been working on this for 5 long years. It was right from the very beginning. He says we were the first country that, we were the first network marketing company that launched simultaneously in China and in America. And it was the goal of RX right from the very beginning to make sure we were totally legitimate in China. We had various different relationships with different other network marketing companies to give us the permission to operate in China, but we wanted our own Chinese license. And you received an email about 3 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, making sure that everybody understood that the license is extremely important. We're going to be one of 16. I'll be, I think, 17 countries, 17 companies in the entire world. Sorry, let's try that again. I'll be 16 countries now from America who have a direct selling license legitimately in China. I think Nu Skin is one of them. I think Herbalife is one of them. I think Amway is one of them. But very few, and of there are hundreds and hundreds of companies that are available to do work in China. But very few only have that stamp of approval from the government. And we've made all the right moves. We've talked to all the right people. We've involved all the right consultants. We've set up the proper relationships. We've donated monies to various different Chinese women's charities, as a matter of fact. And I was there a year ago when we announced that, and in Beijing, China, when they had a big, huge dais across this very large official government concert hall where there were hundreds and hundreds of RX people and a lot of top government officials there receiving and honoring us for being focused on women and women's charities. And it was a very, very wonderful event. And now the license is moving forward. Now it's been submitted formally. They've formally received it. And that is a huge deal. Now it may take still another year before the final paperwork comes through. But Fred, said he wasn't going to come back to Japan again. The last time he was there was 9 months ago, or here. And he said, I wasn't going to come back to China until I had something, really great to announce. And so he announced that. He's told the people that RX has taken every dime of profit that RX has generated in the last 5 years. And there were, 3 years where there were zero profits. And the last couple of years have been better. But the bottom line is every dime of profit, of $15 million worth of revenue has been, every dime of profit and every, investment that they made towards the $15 million that they've submitted to the China government for the approval for the license. So it's been in, it's done, it's on our way, and it's kind of exciting. I'm chatting with Fred and Ian after he spoke, and I'll be talking about exactly what he said. And here's another group with myself and Fred and Ian and some folks from Taiwan, someone from Singapore. Now, Tom Painter, my business partner, has been here helping us do seminars all across China. And he went to the Terracotta Warriors in Xi'an, China. Now, you probably heard about this. If you haven't, I'll tell you a little bit about it. He went 2 days before I went. He went and warned me it was gonna be hot. He said, dress down, go in shorts and t-shirt. It's gonna be hot, hot, hot. Well, these are the photos that I took at the Terracotta Warriors myself. So Tom, you can see what's going on here. This is a huge auditorium. It is just, you know, certainly much bigger than a football field. And it, you know, all the way around are, there is a viewing spots all the way around this huge arena, looking down on these Terracotta Warriors that have been uncovered. And I'm looking, this is one side of it. I'm showing you the other side of it. And there are thousands of people in this room right now looking down at these warriors. I'm sure there would have been at least 20,000 people there the day that we were there. It was a Monday. But you can see little groups of people all the way around in 2 or 3, sometimes 4 or 5 rows deep of people trying to get in to see. In August, middle of summertime, middle of the heat, the absolute worst time to go see this. If you're going to go at any other time, I think you'd be doing a lot better. I'm not sure if there's some parts of the time in the wintertime when it's too cold to go see, but the bottom line is don't go on August the 13th, which is when we went. And there are just thousands and thousands and thousands of people. Now, you can see the Terracotta Warriors there. These are the ones that have been uncovered. There are as many, they don't know yet because they haven't uncovered all of them, but what you see are maybe 1,000 of them. In the places between the warriors, you'll see these are the spots they haven't yet unearthed. The Terracotta Warriors were found by a farmer in 1978, if I remember correctly, in a well, as he was digging a well. Right there in the bottom right-hand corner of this place is where he was digging the well and pulled up some shards of clay. He thought, this is interesting. So I guess he called the archaeology department of somewhere, and they came over and they started doing some excavation, and they discovered that there was a lot of clay down there, because at one time this had been covered over by some kind of earthen enclosure, and then with an earthquake it had collapsed. So all of these warriors had been destroyed basically, and so they've reconstituted all of them, all the ones you see here anyway, and they're working on them constantly every day. But these are 5 and 6 feet tall warriors, 6,000 of them, they think, total. As the army for the first emperor of China, on the Qin dynasty, this is one of the I think there were just 2 or 3 totally undamaged statues, and here is one. And just look at the detail on that. Now they have 6,000 of them like this, all completely dressed. He's probably would have been carrying some kind of a spear, I think. You see he's got something in his arm down there. This is the look of the back of it. At the time when it was completely done, it was all painted. It would have been spectacular. And you would have seen 6,000 of them all lined up, ready to protect their emperor. I mean, look at the shoe. Look at the detail on that shoe. And it's just unbelievable. This is one of the 7 generals. And I want you to look at the face. Every face is unique. All 6,000 of them. There's no face that's the same, according to what our guide told us. They say that probably they use the exact soldier or as a model, maybe, for every single one of the soldiers, but anyway, unbelievable. See the difference in the faces there? They had horses, they had chariots, they had thousands and thousands of people, and then this is the group of the seminar promoters that I was with, at a photo shot that we could take, and we were having a lot of fun. Those are obviously fake picture behind us, but now what I want to share with you is a little bit of what Fred talked about. Fred made a very interesting announcement. After finishing the announcement about the China license, he made a proposal to the audience I'd never heard said done before. He said, you know, we create promotions for RX. We try to give you incentives that will move you and motivate you. We, you know, give incentive trips and cruises. We give money, commissions for people to go find customers for our incredible products. Give you incentives to travel, to whatever. You know, we obviously have lots of incentives in RX. We have maybe 10 or 15 different ways of making money in RX. But the bottom line is, what if that doesn't motivate you? What if you really aren't interested in a trip to the Caribbean? What if you've been there 10 times and that's the last thing you want? He said, we want to create something that's different. Maybe, and my internet signal's a little unstable there. From time to time, I see a little signal that lets me know that the internet's not doing all that great. So I hope you can hear me okay. Anyway, he says, what do you want? He shows photos of trips and travel. How many of you want to travel? Everybody raise their hands. How many of you want a house? He showed a picture of a house. How many of you want to give money to a charity, whatever your favorite charity happens to be? He showed, you know, a series of maybe 20 different types of incentives that might inspire people. He showed a picture of a beautiful Ferrari. Some people are motivated by cars. You got to be motivated by something, because something that you want, that you badly want, has got to give you the incentive to do what you really, really need to do in order to accomplish what you really want. And he said, maybe we're not touching the button that would motivate you. So what would you want? You know, let's create an incentive that's personalized for you. Tell me what you really, really, really want. And he says, anything in the world. What is it that would really motivate you? They said, obviously, you know, we'll provide that for you based upon what you say you'll do to get it. And if you'll, you know, pay the price in terms of what your activities would be, what you'd have to do in order to achieve it. He says, I want you to tell me two things. So number one, what do you really want? Number two, what are you willing to do to get it? And I want you to submit that to us today. And he had the entire audience receive a form, and they all filled it out. This is what I really, really, really want. And this is what I'm really, really, really willing to pay to get it in terms of activity. This is what I'm willing to do to build my RX business, to find the customers, to build the kind of income streams that would be valuable to me. And he said, of course, if you say, you know, you want a Ferrari, which might cost $300,000 or $400,000, and you're only willing to sponsor one person, well, obviously that's not going to work. You know, obviously we, as the company of RX, are not willing to pay that kind of incentive for that little of effort. No, you got to tell us what you really are willing to pay in terms of your effort in order to achieve this. And it really got people to think about it in a different way. He said, we're going to look at what you want. We're going to look at what you're willing to pay, and we're going to determine whether or not this fits in to what we're willing to commit to. If you're willing to commit to it, he said, not everybody. We're not going to accept everybody's offer. You know, you're making us an offer, and we're going to be providing you with an individual incentive. But if your effort's too small, we'll say thanks, but no thanks. But if your effort is large enough and your reward is reasonable enough, in many instances, we're going to say, you're in. Absolutely. You want that incentive? Tell us how long you want to do it, what you're willing to pay to achieve it. That incentive is yours. Now, of course, I went up to Fred, and I told him what I was willing to pay, right? So I'm sharing. I've got my form in my hand there. I've gone up to submit. Everyone submitted them individually to Fred. There was a whole huge long line of people at the end of the meeting, and they're all handing Fred a report, an offer of what they're willing to do and what they expect to get. And so I'm here making my offer to Fred right here. I said, I want a Ferrari. It's just a joke. I want a Ferrari, and I'm willing to buy one bottle of Rejuvenex in order to achieve it. And of course, Fred, as you know, he's a jokester himself, and that was not going to be acceptable to him. But anyway, we wanted to have some fun and talk to him about it. What I'm going to ask you is, what do you really want? And what are you willing to do to get it? It starts to put things in a little more perspective. If you don't know what you want, then for many instances, there's no motivation. If you're just generally saying to yourself, I want to have a little more money, I want to have a little more health, then generally speaking, you get a general result, which is generally not very much. You have to be more specific about it. As a chief mindset officer, that's my job, is to remind you that if you're not specific about what you really, really want, in both what you want and what you're willing to the effort you're willing to invest to get it, then more than likely it'll be a mediocre result. It's almost something I'd like you to write down for you to clearly say, this is what I really, 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 this is as important as breathing to me. This is what I really, really, really want. Now, if you're not willing to write down what you really, really, really want, and then the second part of that, I should be written down, what you're really willing to do to achieve it. Obviously, you'll be generating a stream of revenue from the product activity of sharing these products with people and generating results in terms of partners and customers. That's what our business is all about. But the bottom line is, you'll be generating that income as a result of that. But Fred's basically saying here, this is in addition to all the 15 different benefits that RX offers, the incentives that we're offering. This is in addition to that. Now, I'm not sure if he'll do this incentive in America. This was only in China when he did this. But I'll bet you if you send it to him, he'd certainly look at it. He certainly might consider it. And there's just a few of you on the call here with us today, and a few of you will watch later on. That might be a little hint to you. Write it down. Say, this is what I really would like. It might be considered. Let's put it that way. I was watching a movie the other night. Sometimes you're out on the road, and it's, you're working hard all day long, and you're meeting all kinds of different people, and then you're flying from city to city to city, and you're showing up at a different hotel, and it's really not all that glamorous, to tell you the truth. But watching a little movie the other night, Jennifer, let's see who was in the movie. Gwyneth Paltrow, Ben Affleck, a movie I'd never heard of before. Maybe that's why they're showing it in China. Maybe that's the only people who saw it. It was called, can't remember what the name of the title was. Anyway, they're having a conversation, and it's a heated conversation, and he's coming back to her after having offended her deeply. And I won't give what the rest of the movie is about, but they're having an argument, and he said he wants to get together. He wants to get back with her, and he has to get her to say yes. And it's a very interesting conversation. It was right at the end of the movie. It was one of the last scenes, and she made a statement that just really struck me. In fact, I want to get my phone. I actually wrote it down word for word. I like quotes. If you know me, you'll know that like 2 or 3 times a day, as I'm reading something, I'm looking at a newspaper or magazine. The movie was called Bounce. Did you see it? And this is the quote. And you probably heard this kind of similar quote in various different ways, but just the way she said it and the way the words were organized, it's just 7 or 8 words, it's very short. She's obviously terrified that she, as a single mother, she has 2 children, her husband got killed in a tragic car accident, plane crash actually, and Ben wants to get together with her, and she is terrified about what will happen, whether he'll be good for her children, will he be a good father for the father who is no longer with them, and she says, "You're not brave if you're not scared." And when I heard that, it just really rung a lot of bells with me. Because what I'm asking all of you to do, I'm asking me to do the same thing. I'm asking all of us here to pick something that really is hard to do. It requires bravery. It requires you're willing to sacrifice some time in things you'd rather be doing in order to focus on something that you really, 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 really want. And in many instances, it requires bravery. And you're not brave if you're not scared. If it's something that is easy to do, that's not bravery. That's not courage. That's just something that's just anybody can do. People who get to the top of ARCs are brave. Why? Because they have to do hard things. They have to face hard fear. They have to overcome personal weaknesses. They have to do hard stuff. And that's when I see people on the stage at an ARCS convention, and they are getting their various different accolades and their awards, and their CEO or their president or their direct officers or whatever. You want to know that every one of them, if you were to talk to them individually and ask about their stories, you'd hear incredible stories. Stories of difficulty, challenge, stories of sacrifice. They are heroes to me. They were brave enough to do something that was hard. So I'm going to ask you that question again. What do you really, 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 really want? It's going to require an enormous amount of sacrifice to get it. Maybe even overcoming fears, personal fears, to get it. But you're not brave if you're not scared. And I want you're gonna live a lot of time as you go get what you want. You're gonna be scared. It's not easy. So that's my final thought for today. It's 7:30 here in the morning, China time. I interviewed Vern Lapuz, who is Chairman Level 3 now. He spoke at the convention in Anaheim in the month of June. He was one of the most popular speakers, I thought, because he was real. He was saying, I lost all my money. I was bankrupt. I'd made some money, then I lost it. I made some stupid mistakes. He was just raw, real. And I think he touched a chord with people. And I interviewed him in one of the very first monthly podcasts that I'm going to start to do. I'm going to interview top experts in ARCS, top leaders, top chairmen. I'm going to call it the secrets of the chairman. Vern was one of the first interviews that I did. I'm sure Vern won't. He agreed to allow me to interview him with the purpose that it would be spread with people throughout ARCS. So if you want a copy of that, you just email, and I will send you a link so you can download the entire. So it took about an hour. And during that call, I asked him what he does on a daily basis. When he gets up in the morning, what's his ritual? How does he prepare himself for the day? Then what? Then what are the meetings like? Then what are his trainings like? What does a week look like to him? You're going to hear his story, and you're going to find out exactly what it takes to be chairman level 3. And I ask him a lot of pointed questions. I think you'll find it valuable and enjoyable. I hope you'll, if you want it, send it to author, AUTHOR, at robertallen.com. All right, everyone. Now I'm going to open this back up for conversation. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Once again, we're in China. I'm in Chengdu, China. So look that up. It's on like the center part of China. It's a huge city. There are probably 20 million people live here. And it has one of the largest malls I've ever seen in my life. It's just big, huge square mall with these wings on it that look like very Chinese looking a rooftop. It's just unbelievable. When I came here, I'd never heard of the city Chengdu, Chengdu. Never even heard the word. Show up here, and there are skyscrapers that are bigger than anything that I've seen in New York City, except maybe the new tower that they just put up there. It's just new. It's spectacular. It's unbelievable. And so anyway, I'm going to open up the calls for anybody who would like to ask any questions. Unmute Will. Unmute Nancy. How you doing, Nancy? Unmute Fury. Any questions or comments any you'd like to make? You're welcome to do so.
Thank you for doing these calls.
Well, you're welcome. Now, are you calling in on, is that Nancy? Or is that Fury?
This is Fury. Uh-huh.
Fury. Like I said, I'm going to be doing them in audio when I get back to the States and on a weekly basis, because I think it's more accessible for most people to do it on audio. So glad you enjoyed, Fury. You're welcome. Any other comments, questions? Can I answer any questions for any of you?
Yes, Bob, it's Nancy.
Hi, Nancy.
Question.
Yes.
So a lot of people who do really well in this kind of business are disadvantaged in some way, to begin with. And so they have some compelling things driving them, like, they need to eat or, be able to take care of their kids or whatever. So what happens if you're actually not in that situation? If you're comfortable health-wise, wise, but you still think that there's a reason to do this, and just it's not hit over the head in any way. So how do you get to that spot in yourself to figure this out?
Boy, that's a great question. By the way, since now you're all opened up audio-wise, as I was speaking, was it choppy at any time? Was it hard for you to hear me?
Yes, in fact, I wasn't when you gave the email, that didn't come through either. If you wanted Vern Lapuz's interview,
Yes.
I think you said author at robertallen.com, but I was.
That is correct, Nancy. Yes, AUTHOR at robertallen.com. That's my personal email, and you're more than welcome to send me a question there if you have a question you'd like to ask. Just don't expect an immediate response, but I'll respond to every single one. Back to your question, Nancy. Let me ask you why you joined ARCS in the first place. Can you remember?
Yeah, I was in USANA first, and I basically followed my leadership over to ARIX.
Yes.
And my feelings were tentative initially, because I didn't really know much about the company. This is already a few years ago. but started taking the products, and I'm older. I'm older than you, I think.
Oh,
Maybe we're close.
you don't have to tell me your
And
age.
and
I'm 60.
we're the same age.
Oh,
Okay. Um, so I'm retired, and I had a successful career, and but I'm totally into health at this point. And I had a late start in life with a lot of things, like having my daughter very late in life. So I figure I need to live to well into my 90s to be able to do the things I want with my grandchildren who don't exist yet.
aha.
Uh, not exist. I don't know, but that's the thing that drives me. That's my highest priority. Always is staying in good health, and I
Excellent.
love the RX products, every one of them. And now I mean, my basic business approach is to um, share the goodness of the RX products with other people, so that they can either reclaim their health or carry on their health or whatever. That's Did that answer your question?
Yeah, sure. And what I'm going to ask you, it's a good question about, it's a soul searching question in terms of legacy, in terms of what you want to leave the world with.
Mm-hmm.
In your late 90s, um,
Yeah.
going, let's see, sitting in a nice armchair with surrounded by dozens of grandchildren and great grandchildren. um, you know,
I'll
30
settle
years.
for one.
One would be good, right? I'm in the same situation. I've got 3 children who
Yeah.
need to reproduce, so it's time for them. Uh, but just going out of the future and creating a dream of a legacy, of a giving back, of making the world a better place and leaving the world a better place in a large way. Um, it's this digging inside yourself and finding out what really motivates you. What do you really want to accomplish? What's your legacy? And does that motivate you, or are you worked hard? You had a good life. You've had you're a mom. You've had a successful career. Is it time to relax? Is it time to enjoy? Is it time to reward yourself for a very hard and good, successful life? It's a very interesting question. Um, maybe it isn't necessary for you to push, to brave something, as the message I was talking about today. Or maybe it is. It's a soul searching question, you know. Do you want to?
So let me ask you this:
Yes.
Could I carry on with this by email with you?
Oh, of course, absolutely. Yeah, don't you want to be too personal here? The answer is of course. Once again, realize that I'm out on the road and sometimes I can't respond immediately, but certainly happy to.
I understand,
Yeah,
but you don't live very far away from me either, so.
well, your question really, I'm here in China. I'm talking to very fired up entrepreneurs. Most of them are very young or younger. They've got their life ahead of them. They got dreams that are motivating them. They're on fire, frankly. And so that's the people I usually deal with. That's my audience. But I had never had your question before. Like, what if there's nothing really that motivates me in a fiery way? What do I do? How do I discover that? And my answer, it falls into something that I kind of aha'd about the earlier part of my career. So this would have been 70, 80, that's 80. This would have been 80,
We do.
88, about 1988. And my career has gone well. I've got New York Times bestsellers, had some financial challenges and had to start all over again in 88. And I was watching a TV show with Nicholas and Palmer and Fuzzy Zeller and Lee Trevino. I'll never forget, it was those four guys. And they were talking about golf. And they'd been golfing their entire lives. And they were asking him, well, why do you golf? Why are you still golfing? You know? And every single one of them had the same answer. And they were interviewed in different places. So it was kind of fun to watch. They said, I love the competition. I just love it. You know? I love to compete with the best in the world. I love the game of golf. I love the recognition, you know. I love, you know, and it was all about love. It was just like, I love this, I love that. It was all about passion. They were just on fire, and it never went out. And you watch each one of those lives right now, and you'd see them golfing until the last day of their life, until they got their knees replaced or their hips replaced with titanium joints. They love the game of golf that much. And I began to ask myself the question, why do I do what I do? And why am I here in China right now? You know, I'm 68 years old. I should be not doing this. Let's put it that way. I'm away from my wife. I'm not happy about that. It's the longest we've ever been away. I'm not happy about that. I can hardly wait to see her again. I'm happy about that. But why am I out here? What am I doing this for? Well, I have a message. It's my song. It's what I sing. I want to sing it till the last breath of my life. I want to teach the message of financial freedom and entrepreneurship, enlightened entrepreneurship, an entrepreneur who gives back, an entrepreneur who gives back first. As they earn money, they give it immediately. They give money back. They live on the 90%. They don't live on they don't first spend the 90 and then give the 10. They give the 10 first and then they live on the 90. And that's the way I've been teaching it for many, many, many years. And it resonates with my audiences. And even these folks in China, I ask them, you know, if I'm going to teach you how to make some money in real estate or make some money on the internet, if I teach you these principles and these strategies and the techniques, will you give away the very first money that you earn? And they all raise their hands to that. I want to teach the world that's a principle of wealth. I personally believe in it. I think it's very powerful. And so I want my books available in China. I want to spread that message. You know, Celine Dion, why does she keep singing? She's singing in Las Vegas. Her husband just died. You know, why is she up singing again? She's going to sing the same exact song. Mick Jagger said, I don't want to be singing Satisfaction when I'm 48 years old. Well, this is what he said when he's in his 20s. Well, he's still singing Satisfaction. And he'll still sing Satisfaction. I heard that song, and the first time I heard that song was 1966. It was in Calgary, Alberta. I'm taking summer school because I flunked math in my high school. I had to take summer school so I could continue in high school. I was never all that good with math. I'm good at money, but not with math. But bottom line is, I remember hearing that song the very first time. And yet that crazy old 60, whatever, he's probably getting close to 70 now. He's still going to sing Satisfaction. Why? Because that's what he does. And that's what I call purpose. It's when you finally wake up and you realize, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. This is what I'm good at. This is what's important to me. This is what I love to do. This is my destiny. And when you add those four pieces together, it's extremely powerful and unsettling conversation you're having with yourself. Sometimes I get people who come up and they're mad at me because I talk about purpose. And they say, I don't want to hear that kind of stuff, because I haven't found my purpose yet. And I'll say, well, there's primary purpose and secondary purpose. Primary purpose, the purpose we're here on the earth, is to learn how to love, period. That's what it's all about. And therefore, if you haven't succeeded in ARCS yet, then make sure you don't fail at love. You gotta love people. You gotta love people around you. You gotta love your family. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love God. You got love. It's all about love. That's primary purpose. Secondary purpose is, how do you specifically love the world? What talents do you provide to the world? What gift do you give to the world? Where your love is manifest. Your gift, what you say, what you do, how you treat people, what your career was, as a career person. Did you love the people you dealt with? So that'll give you some more room. In the meantime, while you're discovering what motivates you, notice people and ask them the question: what drives you? Why do you get up in the morning? Why do you breathe? Why did I get up this morning? To talk to you guys. Got in. Didn't get to bed too early last night. It was a long trip from Xi'an. It was 107 degrees in the most blistering, hot, muggy weather you can imagine. We were literally drenched with sweat. And looking at all these terracotta warriors, looking at this magnificent archaeological discovery, one of the greatest discoveries archaeologically in history. It's unbelievable. And then flew from Xi'an to Chengdu, got here to settle in. I got a speech today, and then tomorrow I'm going to fly to Shanghai to see Fred again, then Taiwan, then Japan, then heading back home. Why do all this stuff? Well, because I love this. I love this. I love this company. I love these products. I love the message. I love speaking to people. This is my song. This is what I do. Discover that for yourself, and you never run out of motivation. You don't have to have, and there's no external motivation for Bob. It's very internal motivation. I've been ranting for too long. Any other final questions that anybody would like to ask or share? Thoughts?
Well, I just want to say thank you. That was really, really helpful, and it was really beautiful too.
Thank you, Nancy.
Bob, I got a couple questions for the people on the call.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, I got a couple questions for the people on the call. Would it be helpful if you received an email reminder about this call on a weekly basis?
Yes, Tom, definitely. This is Will.
Okay.
Yes.
My hope for Bob is to have a lot more people on the call. Is this call too early in the day? Is it too early in the day?
No.
Well,
No, I think it's
I guess
perfect.
not for the people who are here, but it might be too early in the day for those who aren't here.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay. Back to Nancy's piece, Bob. For me, because Bob ripped me out of retirement because I was basically retired, and the big piece for me is I get a lot of satisfaction on helping find solutions for people, and Nancy, that might be one of your things. How do you go find some problems, go find some challenges that you can help fix. In Bob's books, in Cash and Flash and 1 Minute Millionaire, for example, The Challenge. Are great books about people that were mentors. I think 1 Minute Millionaire, or I guess Cash and Flash, right, Bob, is the two-sided book.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's probably a great one to read.
I have many copies of that book, actually.
Go read that again and become Sam. become the mentor to someone. That's the way you really find a lot of joy. If you've already made it for yourself, now go help somebody else. And it's hard to do. As a traveling all Asia with Bob, it's funny because they want a picture with Bob, but I'm part of the entourage, and so they want a picture with me. And I don't really want a picture with them, but it's on their list, and it makes them happy. So I stand there and take pictures with people, even if it's not on my list at all, but it's on theirs. And so that's kind of another thing for you to think of. Find out what's on their list and help them with it, and that'll make you happy.
Great comment,
Got
Tom.
it. Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, everyone. The
Bob.
day is ready to launch. Any other comments, thoughts? All right, everyone. Have a
I'm
great
sorry
day.
that broke up.
Make sure you send me an email if you want.
Bob, do you want to talk to me for a minute before your next call?
Sure. Why don't we do it on Skype, Tom?
Okay, that'll be great.
Bob, this is Will. A big thanks for all you do.
Thanks a lot, Will. You have a great day, everyone. God bless. Bye-bye.